Hello students, I am Dr. Sangeeta Sharma, your science teacher. Today we will be continuing with chapter 12 of your science book, that is electricity. And in today's video, that is part 8 in text exercises, we will be solving the problems related to heating effects of electric current and electric power. Students, in our previous videos we have understood what is the heating effect of electric current and what is electric power. So today we will solve the problems based on these two topics. To begin with, let's first understand and recall the formulae used. So students, the first formula which may be used here in solving the numerical problems is that for electric power, that is given by the rate of doing work, that is work done upon time. The second formula which can be used for power may be V square upon R, or you can take power as VI, or you can take it as I square R. As the case may be, we can use any formula for electric power. Then we can have the heat content which is given by I square RT. Now students, here all the symbols have their usual meanings, like P stands for electric power, W for work done, T for time. Here again P stands for electric power, V for the electric potential, R for the electrical resistance. Here I stands for the electric current, H stands for the heat produced when electric current I flows through a resistor of resistance R in time T. So these are the basic three formulae which we are going to use in solving the problems given at the end of these two topics. Students, here we may use the Ohm's law also. So the Ohm's law which is given by V is equal to IR. So let's start with the problems based on heating effects of electric current and electric power. Example 12.10, which is given in your textbook. An electric iron consumes energy at a rate of 840 watts when heating is at the maximum rate and 360 watts when the heating is at the minimum. The voltage is 220 volts. What are the current and the resistance in each case? Now students, here what is given is, we are given the powers consumed and we are given the voltage. So first, to begin with, we will write the quantities which are given. So to begin with the solution, first we will write the quantities which are given. So here we are given that the power consumed in the first case is 840 watts. Then the power consumed in the second case is given as 360 watts. And the voltage is given, students, as 220 volts. Now what we need to calculate? We need to calculate what are the current and resistance in each case. That is, we need to calculate I1, we need to calculate R1, then we need to calculate I2 and R2 also. So these quantities we need to calculate. So to begin with, we need to use the formula P is equal to VI. The power is given by VI. Then substituting the values for P and V, we will calculate the value for I. So P1 will be equal to VI1, which will give us the value for the current in the first case, which is equal to P1 upon V. Now here students, P1 is given as 840 and V is given as 220. So on solving this, if I divide it by a 10, then this 0 will cancel out with the 0. Now dividing it by say 2. So I'll have a 11 over here, and if I divide this by 2, then I'll have 2 4s are 8 and 2 2s are 4. So I'll have 42 upon 11. Now on solving this, students, I can solve it here. 42 divided by 11. So 11 3s are 33. I am left with a 9 and then on putting a decimal over here, I'll have a 90, then this will be 11 8s are 88, I'll be left with a 20, so 11 1s are 11, and here I'll be left with a 90, so here I'll have a 8 again. So this can be taken as, so here the current in the first case will be equal to 3.82 amperes. Now students, this is the electric current for the first case when the power consumed is 840 watts. Now we need to calculate the resistance in this case, and for the resistance we will use the Ohm's law, and the Ohm's law is V is equal to IR. So V is equal to I1 R1. So this implies that R1 will be equal to V upon I1. So here we will calculate the value of R1, and the value of V is given as 220. Now the value of I1, I have calculated it as 3.82. If we are not comfortable with the decimal things, then what we can use is, we can use 42 upon 11. So here I can write 42 divided by 11, then the 11 will go up. So here I can cancel this by a 2. So 2 2s are 4, 2 1s are 2, 2 1s are 2, 2 1s are 2, and a 0 over here. So what I get is 110 multiplied by 11 upon 21. So if I multiply this 110 by 11, then what I get is 110 multiplied by 11. What I get is 1 zeros are 0, 1 1s are 1, 1 1s are 1, again 1 zeros are 0, 1 1s are 1, and 1 1s are 1. So what I get is, I get 1210. So I'll use this value over here, 1210 upon 21. So I need to divide this 1210 by 21. So let's divide this, students. So when I divide 1210 by 21, so what I can take is 21 5s are. So it will be 5 1s are 5 and 5 2s are 10. So I'll be left with a 16 over here, and then I have a 0. So I'll take a 0. Now this will go 7 times. So I'll have 7 1s are 7 and 7 2s are 14. So on dividing it further, then here I'll have a 3 and 1. So I'll put a decimal over here and I'll have a 0 over here. So what I get is that I can divide this by a 6. So it will become 6 1s are 6 and 6 2s are 12. So I'll be left with a 4. So here, students, it will be 40, then I can take it as 1. So the value for the resistance in the first case comes out to be 57.61. So the resistance here will be, for the first case, the resistance came out to be 57.61 ohms. Now similarly, we will calculate the current and the resistance for the second case when the power was given as 360 watts. Now the power, students, was 360 watts. Now the voltage is given, and the voltage is given as 220 volts. So we need to calculate the current and the resistance. Again we will use the formula, and we will use P2 is equal to VI2. So here the power, will use the formula VI2, which implies that I2 will be equal to P2 upon V. Now students, this electric current will become equal to, the power was given as 360 watts and the voltage is 220 volts. Now if I divide this by a 10, then this 0 will go with this 0. Then again dividing it by 2, what I get is 2 1s are 2, 2 1s are 2, and here 2 1s are 2, 2 8s are 16. So I am left with 18 upon 11. So on dividing this, students, if I divide 18 by 11, 11 ones are 11, I am left with a 7. So on putting a decimal over here, I will have a 70. So 11 6 are 66, I am left with a 40. So 11 3s are 33, then I will left with 70, so that will come out to be a 6 again. Like after 3 I will have a 6, so I can write it as 1.64. So the current students here comes out to be 1.64 amperes. Now using this value of current, we will calculate the value of resistance in the second case, and the resistance will be calculated using the Ohm's law. So the Ohm's law will give us that V is equal to I2 R2, and here we know the value of I2 and we know the value of V. We need to calculate R2. So R2 will be given by V upon I2. Again students, instead of taking the decimal numbers, we can take the fraction numbers also. So R2 will be equal to 220 upon 1.64 I can take, or I can take 18 upon 11. So if I take 18 upon 11, this comes out to be 18 into 11, because the 11 which is in the denominator will go to the numerator. Now cancelling this by a 2, I have 2 9s are 18, 2 1s are 2 and 0. Again I have 110 multiplied by 11, which we calculated right now, and it came out to be 1210 upon 9. So we can divide this and we can calculate the value of the resistance in the second case. So students, let's calculate this. So when I divide 1210 by 9, what I get is 9 ones are 9, 31. Then what will come students? 9 3s are 27, and here I will be left with 40, and what I will have is 9 1s are 9, 9 2s are 18, 9 3s are 27 and 9 4s are 36. Then again I am here left with a 4, so I will put a decimal over here. Again I will have a 40, so I will have 9 4s are 36 and so on. So what I get is that the resistance in the second case comes out to be 134.4 ohms. So students, initially we were given the power consumed, one for maximum rate and one for minimum rate, and we were given the potential applied. So we calculated the currents and the resistances in both the cases. Now let's see the next problem, which is example 12.11. 100 joules of heat is produced each second in a 4 ohm resistance. 100 joules of heat is produced each second in a 4 ohm resistance. Find the potential difference across the resistor. To begin with students, again we will write the quantities which are given. So for the solution, first I will write the quantities which are given. Now students, here 100 joules of heat is produced each second. So what is given here? That H is 100 joules. The time you can take as 1 second, and the resistance here given is 4 ohms. Now what we need to calculate? Find the potential difference across the resistor. That is, we need to calculate V. Now what formula we can use here? We can take, first we can calculate the power, and using the formula for power we can calculate the value of the potential. So what we can take here is students, that first we need to calculate the power, and the power will be given by the work done per unit time, or you can say the heat produced per unit time. So it will become 100 joules upon 1 second, which will become 100 watts. So here the power is 100 watts and the formula for power can be taken as V square upon R. So here students, if we use the formula for power as V square upon R, then what we get is that V square can be calculated by multiplying 100 by this resistance. So we will calculate V square here and the resistance given is 4 ohms. So V square will become equal to 100 into 4, which is equal to 400. So V will become equal to under root 400. So the potential difference comes out to be 20 volts because under root 400 is 20 volts. Now students, here I used one method. You can use another method also, since H was given, T was given and R was given. So from here we could calculate I using the formula H is equal to I square R T, and there what we can use is we could calculate the value of I. Then again using R and I we could calculate V using the Ohm's law. So students, here there can be many ways for solving a numerical problem. I have used one way, you can use some other way also. Now let's see the next problem, which is question number 1. Why does the cord of an electric heater not glow while the heating element does? क्या पूछ रहे हैं स्टूडेंट्स यहाँ पर? ये पूछ रहे हैं कि जो एक इलेक्ट्रिकल हीटर होता है, जो एक इलेक्ट्रिक हीटर होता है, उसकी जो कॉर्ड है, जो कनेक्टिंग वायर है, वो तो ग्लो नहीं करता, जबकि उसका जो हीटिंग एलिमेंट है वो ग्लो करता है जब हम उसके अंदर से इलेक्ट्रिक करंट पास करते हैं। तो ऐसा क्यों होता है? तो हमें पता है स्टूडेंट्स कि जो हीटिंग एलिमेंट है वो किस मटेरियल का बना हुआ होता है? एक ऐसे मटेरियल का बना हुआ होता है जिसकी रेजिस्टिविटी भी हाई होती है और जिसका मेल्टिंग पॉइंट भी बहुत ज़्यादा होता है। तो ऐसा जो मटेरियल है वो जनरली हम क्या लेते हैं? नाइक्रोम। तो नाइक्रोम के केस में क्या होता है? जैसे ही करंट फ्लो होती है तो वो मटेरियल जो है उसकी रेजिस्टिविटी हाई होने के कारण उसमें रेजिस्टेंस ज़्यादा होता है, इसलिए उसके अंदर हीटिंग इफेक्ट जो है वो ज़्यादा प्रोड्यूस होता है। और मेल्टिंग पॉइंट बहुत हाई होने के कारण नाइक्रोम जो है वो रेड हॉट तो हो जाता है पर वो मेल्ट नहीं होता। पर जो कनेक्टिंग वायर्स है, जो कि कॉर्ड है, वो जनरली किसकी बनी हुई होती हैं? वो बनी हुई होती हैं कॉपर या एल्यूमिनियम की। तो जो कॉपर की जो रॉड्स हैं या जो कनेक्टिंग वायर्स हैं, जो कॉर्ड्स जिनको बोला है, तो जो कनेक्टिंग वायर्स हैं वो कॉपर के बने हुए होते हैं। कॉपर क्या है? कॉपर इज अ गुड कंडक्टर ऑफ इलेक्ट्रिसिटी। एक अच्छा कंडक्टर है। अच्छा कंडक्टर है मतलब उसका रेजिस्टेंस कम है, रेजिस्टेंस कम है और रेजिस्टिविटी भी कम है। तो उस केस में क्या होगा? उस केस में हीट जनरेटेड जो है वो बहुत कम होगी। तो इसलिए स्टूडेंट्स, एक कनेक्टिंग वायर जो होता है वो रेड हॉट नहीं होता, ग्लो नहीं करता, जबकि जो फिलामेंट है एक इलेक्ट्रिक हीटर का वो ग्लो करता है। तो हम उस आंसर को कैसे लिखेंगे ये देखते हैं। The heating element of an electric heater is a resistor. The amount of heat produced by it is proportional to its resistance. The amount of heat produced is given by students. H is equal to I square R T. From this formula what we see is the amount of heat produced by it is proportional to its resistance. So H is directly proportional to the resistance. The resistance of the element of an electric heater is very high. Now here the resistance is very high, so the heat produced is also very high. As current flows through the heating element, it becomes too hot and glows red. So when current flows through the heating element, then it becomes too hot and that is why it glows hot red. On the other hand, the resistance of the cord is low because it is made up of good conductors of electricity. it does not become red when current flows through it. Since its resistance is low, so the heat produced is very less, as heat produced is directly proportional to R. So this is the reason why cords do not glow, but the heating element of an electric heater glows. So let's see the next problem, which is question number 2. Compute the heat generated while transferring 96,000 coulomb of charge in 1 hour through a potential difference of 50 volts. यहाँ पर क्या दिया है स्टूडेंट्स? यहाँ पर हमसे ये दिया हुआ है कि 96,000 कूलम ऑफ चार्ज अगर 1 घंटे के लिए 50 वोल्ट के पोटेंशियल डिफरेंस के साथ में अगर वो चार्ज जो है वो फ्लो करता है तो कितनी हीट जनरेट होगी. अब यहाँ पर पहले स्टूडेंट्स हम क्या करेंगे, हम वो क्वांटिटीज लिखेंगे जो कि गिवन है और फिर हीट प्रोड्यूस्ड का फॉर्मूला यूज करके इस प्रॉब्लम को सॉल्व करेंगे. सो टू बिगिन विथ we will write the quantities which are given. Now here students, we are given Q is 96,000 coulombs and we have the potential difference V given as 50 volts. Now here the time is given as 1 hour. Now 1 hour means 3600 seconds. How I calculated this? In 1 hour there are 60 minutes and in each minute there is 60 seconds. So what we get is 60 multiplied by 60, that is 3600 seconds. Now we have calculated this many times, that is why I have written it directly that 1 hour is equal to 3600 seconds. Now what we need to calculate here is students, we need to calculate the heat produced. So we will calculate the heat produced by using the formula H is equal to I square R T. But what we see students here is that we are not given I, we are not given R and we are given only T here. So we can calculate this by calculating the value of I, then we can calculate the value of R, and there is one more simple way. In order to calculate this, we can use a different formula. The potential is given by the work done per unit charge. So here the work done which is responsible for the heat produced can be directly calculated by multiplying this potential by the charge. So this is the simpler way to solve this numerical problem. So what we can do is students, that the heat produced which is equal to the work done is given by V into Q, and V we are given as 96,000 and Q is given as 50. So when we multiply this, then 96 has to be multiplied by a 5. So if I multiply 96 by 5, then 5 6 are 30, 9 5s are 45, 46, 47 and 48. So what I get is, I get a 480. Now I got 480 by multiplying 96 by 5, and we had 1, 2, 3 and 4 more zeros. 1, 2, 3 and 4 more zeros. So this can be simply written as H is equal to 4.8. I am putting a decimal over here. So after that, how many digits are there? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 and 6. So 4.8 into 10 to the power 6. So the heat produced can be given as 4.8 into 10 to the power 6 joules. Now students, here you could have solved it in a different manner also. So you could have used this formula I square RT, and for I we could have used Q upon T. Then because the current is given by the rate of flow of charge, so we could have used the value for I, then we could have calculated the value of R by using the Ohm's law. then we could have calculated the value of H. Now here students, we can use some other formulas also, that is we could have used V square upon RT, or we can use what? I square RT, V square upon RT, or VIT. For all the cases, we could have calculated the value of I using Q upon T. So this is the simplest way, and you can use any of the formula as you wish. Now let's see the next problem, which is question number 3. An electric iron of resistance 20 ohms takes a current of 5 ampere. The resistance is given as 20 ohms and the current is given as 5 amperes. Calculate the heat developed in 30 seconds. Now to begin with, we will first write the quantities which are given. So to begin with the solution, we will first write the quantities which are given. Now here what we are given is that the resistance is 20 ohms, the current is 5 amperes and the time is 30 seconds. And what we need to calculate? We need to calculate the heat developed. So students, here what will be the formula used? Yes, it will be H is equal to I square RT. So H is equal to I square RT, and we are given all the values. So I is 5. So we will have in place of I square we will have 5 5s are 25. In place of R I will have a 20, and in place of T I will have 30. So when I multiply 25 by 20, I will get a 500. This will be multiplied by 30. So 5 3s are 15 and I have 15,000. So this can be written as 1.5 into 10 to the power 4 joules. So this is the value of the heat produced. So the heat produced is given by 1.5 into 10 to the power 4 joules, or you can simply write 15,000 joules. This is the scientific notation used. So we can write it as 1.5 into 10 to the power 4 joules. Now let's see the next problem, which is example 12.12 in your textbook. An electric bulb is connected to a 220 volt generator. The current is 0.50 ampere. What is the power of the bulb? Now students, here what is given? We will write them first. So what is given? An electric bulb is connected to a 220 volt. So V is 220 volts. The current is given. It is 0.50 amperes. And what is the power? Now students, on looking on the values which are given, what formula should be used to calculate P? Yes, P is equal to VI. So we will use P is equal to VI. So V is given as 220 and I is given as 0.50. If I multiply this 22 with 5. So 22 when multiplied by 5, what I get is 5 2s are 10, 5 2s are 10 and it will become 110. 5 2s are 10 and plus 1, 11. So 110. Now I have multiplied 22 by only 5. Now in place of 5 what I have is, I have a 0.50. So I will write 110. Now because it was not 22, it was 220. So I will have a 0 over here, and in place of 5 I have 0.50. So this will become 110. So what I get is students, that the power is 110 watts. Right? Now let's see the next problem, which is example 12.13. 13. An electric refrigerator rated 400 watt operates 8 hours per day. What is the cost of the energy to operate it for 30 days at rupees 3 per kilowatt hour? स्टूडेंट्स, हमें यहाँ पर क्या दिया है कि एक इलेक्ट्रिक रेफ्रिजरेटर है जिसकी रेटिंग क्या है 400 वॉट्स की, यानी कि उसकी पावर जो है वो कितनी है 400 वॉट्स, एंड इट ऑपरेट्स 8 आवर्स पर डे. एक दिन में कितना चलता है? एक दिन में वो जो इलेक्ट्रिक रेफ्रिजरेटर है वो 8 घंटे तक काम में आता है, 8 आवर्स तक के लिए काम में आता है. अब हमें कॉस्ट निकालनी है. जो कॉस्ट निकालनी है वो किसकी निकालनी है? जो वो एनर्जी यूज कर रहा है इलेक्ट्रिक रेफ्रिजरेटर, और 30 डेज के लिए निकालनी है. एक दिन में कितना यूज करता है? 8 आवर्स. तो 30 डेज के लिए हमें निकालना है कि वो जो एनर्जी यूज कर रहा है इलेक्ट्रिक रेफ्रिजरेटर उसकी कॉस्ट क्या है. और कॉस्ट, हमें कॉस्ट की रेट क्या दी हुई है? 3 रुपीज पर किलोवाट आवर. नाउ किलोवाट आवर स्टूडेंट्स, अगर आपको ध्यान हो तो ये इलेक्ट्रिकल एनर्जी की यूनिट है जिसे हम कॉमनली क्या बोलते हैं? यूनिट. तो हमारा जो बिजली का बिल आता है, जो इलेक्ट्रिसिटी का बिल आता है, उसके अंदर जो यूनिट्स कंज्यूम्ड होती हैं एक्चुअली वो एनर्जी की यूनिट है, और वो होती है 1 किलोवाट आवर के लिए. तो पहले इसको सॉल्व करते हैं और इसकी वैल्यू, इसकी कॉस्टिंग निकालते हैं. And to begin with the solution, first we will write the quantities which are given. So we are given that the power is 400 watts and it operates for 8 hours in one day. So it operates for 8 hours per day. What is the cost of the energy to operate it for 30 days? So the time we have to take is 30 days, and the cost given is rupees 3 per kilowatt hour. Now students, we can solve this numerical problem again in many ways, so I'll use the easy one for you. Now here the power is given in watts, so we must first calculate this power in kilowatts. So if I change watt into kilowatt, that means I have to divide it by 1000. So the power will become 400 upon 1000 kilowatts. So this will become 0.4 kilowatts. Now here the electrical refrigerator is used for 8 hours per day. So for 30 days, how many hours it will work? So for 30 days it will work for 8 hours multiplied by 30. So it will become 240 hours. Right students? Now the power is given as 0.4 kilowatt and the time is 240 hours. So first we will calculate the energy. Now the energy consumed by the refrigerator is 0.4 kilowatts. This is, I'll put a 0 over here, then the energy consumed is 0.4 kilowatts and the hours used is 240. So I'll multiply this by 240 hours. So this is basically the energy which is consumed by the electric refrigerator. So the energy consumed becomes, now I'll multiply this 240 by 0.4. So when I multiply 240 by 0.4, so first I'll multiply it with a 4. 4 zeros are 0, 4 fours are 16, 4 twos are 8, and I have 960. So this will become 960 kilowatt hour. Now since students here I had a 0.4, so if I place a point over here, then I have to put a decimal over here. So I'll put a decimal over here. So the value comes out to be 96 kilowatt hour. Now the cost is given as rupees 3 per kilowatt hour. the cost is given as rupees 3 per kilowatt hour. And how many kilowatt hours we have? We have 96 kilowatt hours. So the total cost of the total energy consumed by the electric refrigerator in 30 days will be calculated by multiplying this by 3 rupees. So the total cost will become equal to 96 multiplied by 3. So this will become 6 3s are 18, 9 3s are 27 and a 28. What I have done is, students, I have multiplied by this 96 by 3. So 6 3 6 are 18, 3 9s are 27 plus 1 28. So 288 rupees will be the cost for running a electric refrigerator for 30 days when the electric refrigerator works for 8 hours per day. So like this we have calculated the total cost. So this comes out to be 288 rupees. We can write it like this, or we can write it like rupees 288. So this is the total cost. Let's see the next problem. Now in this problem what is asked is, what determines the rate at which energy is delivered by a current? पूछा क्या है स्टूडेंट्स यहाँ पे कि क्या चीज डिसाइड करती है कि किस रेट पे एनर्जी डिलीवर होगी करंट से. तो उसके लिए हम आंसर जो है स्टूडेंट्स वो इस तरीके से लिखेंगे. द रेट ऑफ कंजप्शन ऑफ इलेक्ट्रिक एनर्जी in an electrical appliance is called electric power. Hence, the rate at which energy is delivered by a current is the power of the appliance. So, what is determining the rate? The electric power will determine the rate. Now, let's see the next problem, which is question number 2. An electric motor takes 5 amperes from a 220 volt line. Determine the power of the motor and the energy consumed in 2 hours. अब यहाँ पे क्या दिया है स्टूडेंट्स की एक इलेक्ट्रिक मोटर है, वो कितना करंट लेती है? वो 5 एम्पियर्स का करंट लेती है 220 वोल्ट की लाइन से. यानी पावर सप्लाई कितनी दी हुई है स्टूडेंट्स? 220 वोल्ट की पावर सप्लाई दी हुई है. और हमें निकालना क्या है? पावर निकालनी है और एनर्जी कंज्यूम्ड निकालनी है. अगर वो इलेक्ट्रिक मोटर जो है वो 2 आवर तक चलती है, 2 घंटे तक चलती है. सो बिगिन विथ राइटिंग द क्वांटिटीज विच आर गिवन. सो हियर वी आर गिवन दैट द करंट इज 5 amperes, the voltage is 220 volts, and we need to calculate the power when the time is 2 hours. We need to calculate the energy also. Energy means we need to calculate the work done. Now time is again students, here we are given 2 hours, and as we know that instead of hours we need to take seconds. So what we will do is we will convert into seconds, and to convert it into seconds we have to multiply it by 3600. So the time comes out to be 7200 seconds. Now students, what will be the formula used for calculating power? Yes, here we are given I and V, so we will use the formula P is equal to VI. So if I use the formula P is equal to VI, then V is given as 220 and I is given as 5. So if I multiply this 220 by 5, what I get is 5 zeros are 0, 5 twos are 10 and 5 twos are 10, that is 1100. So the power comes out to be 1100 watts. Now this is the power. Now what we need to calculate? We need to calculate the energy consumed in 2 hours. Now students, we know that power is given by work done upon time, and this work done is stored as energy. So basically we will have to calculate the work done in order to calculate the energy consumed. So this implies that the work done is given by the power into time. Now the power we have calculated as 1100 watts and the time we calculated as 7200 seconds. We calculated here, students, 7200 seconds. So we will use this. So we need to multiply this 1100 by 7200. So we will simply multiply 72 by 11. So if I multiply this 72 by 11, what I get is 1 2s are 2, 1 7s are 7, 1 2s are 2, 1 7s are 7. So I'll have a 792. So if I write it here, I'll have 792, 2 zeros from here and 2 zeros from here. So this is the work done, which is equal to the energy. So the energy will be this much of joules. Using the scientific notation, it can be written as 7.92 into 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 and 6. 10 to the power 6 joules. Since I have placed a decimal after 7, so I'll write it in scientific notation like 7.92 into 10 to the power 6 joules. So students, today we have completed the in-text exercises, that is the problems which are given in between the chapter after completion of the two topics, which was heating effects of electric current and electric power. Now students, we have completed this chapter and we have solved all the in-text exercises after all the topics which were given inside the chapter. Now students, we are ready to solve the numerical problems, all the problems which are given at the back of the chapter, that is the end exercises. So in our next video, we will solve all the problems given at the back of the chapter, that is at the end of the chapter. So stay prepared with all the things which we have learnt in our previous videos and recall all the formulae used so that we can solve the numerical problems easily. Till then, stay safe, stay healthy. Bye-bye.